Namaste and welcome everyone. This is Hindu Lounge. Hindu Lounge is brought to you by HinduPact, and HinduPact is the policy research and advocacy collective of World Hindu Council of America, or VHPA. Hindu Lounge generally comes live every Sunday at 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific. But today it's an unusual day. It is a very special day. It is September 11th, and it's the 20th anniversary of September 11th. And we are doing a special show on Saturday. And as always, with me is Utsada, is Utsal Chakrabarti. Utsada is the executive director of HinduPact, and I am Ajay Shah. I'm the president of World Hindu Council of America. We generally talk about contemporary American issue, but today is a day which is a really special day. It is a day when over 3,000 Americans were killed in a terrorist attack when when the terrorists flew their planes over the Twin Towers, and one of the planes they were probably go and fly, and bomb either, and one of them was on Pentagon, of course, and one was either headed towards the White House or the Capitol. We don't quite know yet. We don't know quite which one, but it would have been a significant target when the brave people of Flight 93 actually, gave up their life, brought down the plane in rural parts of Pennsylvania. But it is a special day for all those people who lost their loved ones, and we are really fortunate to have Kishan Sarkar with us, and who lost his father 20 years ago in 9/11. So, and of course, today we also have Adelle Nazarian with us, and I will have Utsada introduce both of them. It is also a day when, several years ago, over 125 years ago in Chicago, Swami Vivekananda brought the message of Hindu Dharma and the universality of the Hindu Dharma to Chicago's World Parliament of Religion. So it's very telling that on 9/11, the message of peace, message of hope was brought to America, and the other 9/11, 100 years later, a message of violence and a message of terrorism was brought in America. And therein lies really the difference between the kind of philosophy that we practice and some of the people following some other faiths practice. With that, let me welcome Utsada. Utsada, please take a moment, introduce our guest. But before I do that, Utsada, I want to express my condolences to you. I just about 4 hours ago, Utsada lost his father. And I told Utsada many times that please you do not have to be here today. And Utsada is still here. I cannot imagine what he's going through today. It is, I feel very sorry for your loss, Utsada. I don't really have any words. I'm at loss of words to really say anything I want to say. But I'll just not say much. But all I want to say is from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of World in the Council of America, HinduPact family, I just wanted to express our condolences, and stay brave. I know it's not easy. With that, to you, Utsada.
Well, thank you, Ajay Bhai, and thank you everybody for joining us. So September 11 is a tragic day in our history, and I guess it was meant to be personally also that way for me. So we are going to go to the next slide, and we would all keep 2 minutes of silence for the victims of the 9/11 attacks that happened 20 years ago. And
so are you going to introduce our special guest?
We'll do that after the 2 minutes.
After that, okay.
Yeah. So let's all have 2 minutes of silence, and after that we will start the show. And I would introduce our guests because they really have both personal and educational stories to share. And hopefully we will look forward to a very informative event. So let's all have 2 minutes of silence. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So let me introduce you the speakers today. And we have Kishan Sarkar. Kishan tragically lost his father on the fateful day. Kalyan Kumar Sarkar, who was in the North Tower when the tragedy happened. And Kishan has been a human rights activist, a voice for the Hindu communities and the downtrodden communities around the world since the day he could express his views. And Kishan has been known to me personally for over the last 6 years. I have interacted with him on different issues concerning the human rights of subaltern communities around the world, the human rights of Hindus in Bangladesh, in the Indian subcontinent, in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, as well as in America. So Kishan has been a strong voice, and he has been a friend of the community, a pillar of support. So thank you for joining us, Kishan, on this day. We also have. Thank you. We also have Adelle Naz. Adelle is a journalist and a fellow of the Gold Institute for International Strategy. Her work has been noticed. Her work has been presented on national security, foreign policy, human rights, and religious freedom. And she has been a very loud, vociferous, and informed voice of the Hindu communities around the world. And she has been a friend of the community, a sincere supporter. And I have to tell you that, if you follow her on Twitter, you will see the passion, the information, and the knowledge she brings in support of the community. And thank you so much for joining us, Adelle, today. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for organizing this really, really, really important event. And again, my condolences to you and your family.
Thank you. And of course, we have Ajay Shah. Ajay Shah and myself, we do the HinduLounge show every Sunday. But today, because we wanted to join everybody on September 11th, so we are doing the show on Saturday. And Ajay Shah he's everything that you can imagine an activist, a scholar, and an organizer can be. And I have known Ajay Bhai for the last decade. It's been a privilege to work with Ajay Shah for the HinduLounge show and all other activities concerning Hindu Pact and World Hindu Council of America over the last few years. So thank you, Ajay Bhai, for joining once again. And we learn and share far more behind the camera, before we start the show, and then we do the show, and we spend hours preparing for it. So thank you for putting all the effort, Ajay Bhai. And so with that, we will go to the next segment, and we would just want to bring to view the names of all the victims, the American Hindu victims who passed away on September 11 in 2001. And nearly 8% of the victims that day were of Hindu American origin or Hindu origin. Many of them may not have been Americans also. And the good thing is that even though we are talking about these 8% people who were from the Hindu American community, we all remember everybody who died there in the Twin Towers, because they were all Americans, and they were all people who gave up their life for the cause of humanity. And that's the reason why we are having this show today, because what happened in September 11 was not an isolated incident. It was a war on America that has global implications, as we saw in the last 2 decades. And as you will see in the conversation today, it's not over. In fact, in my opinion, history will look at September 11 as a critical nodal event that will have implications centuries down the road. And one of the reasons why we are having this show today is because, as people are remembering the people from 2 decades ago, what happened 2 decades ago, we are also looking at things that are happening right now. And there is a strong sense of understanding amongst the people that, the events of September 11 never went away. It impacted people in every corner of the world. The people who perpetrated it continue to perpetrate crimes against humanity around the world in different forms against different ethnicities in different ways. So what was a violent attack on the Twin Towers that day have translated and morphed into other forms of violence, intellectual, physical, and in many cases, it has led to a dehumanization of communities around the world. And just to give you an example, as we speak today, on these tragedies that happened 20 years ago, there are conferences being organized in American campuses targeting American Hindu communities on this day. So, we will just go through this show and discuss some of those implications and what are the future implications of these kinds of events and how it impacts us. So, Ajay bhai, would you like to start with the original topic of discussion, which is what happened 20 years ago? And would you start with that, please?
So everyone who was at least a teenager has memories of where they were, what they were doing on 9/11, and a lot of people, I was in California, and I did not know people who were personally impacted, who were in the tower, but I had a lot of relatives who lived in New Jersey, New York, etc. And they, I know that, it was a life-changing moment for them, but obviously nothing as significant as what Kishan Dai here has gone through and seen. Not even close. I mean, they walked for hours to get to New Jersey or something or the other, right? But it's not on the same scale. I remember I was working on our HinduNet at the time, initiative, and I think I had gone to sleep at around 2 a.m. and in West Coast. And so when I woke up in the morning, I looked at Drudge Report and it said planes hit Twin Towers. So first plane hit Twin Towers, and I thought, somebody hacked Drudge website, because Drudge Report being a prominent website, it's always, all websites are under constant hacking attacks. So I thought it was a hacking attempt. And then I said, this really can't be true. I mean, come on, how is a plane going to fly? And then so I went to some of the other news websites, and I started thinking, this is actually real. And then turned on the TV, and then I saw the second plane hit. And then all the thoughts kind of started racing through my mind as to, wow, there must be, these are the biggest buildings. What are the, there must be